What is going on, Fragrance family? Thanks for joining me here on my channel, Stephen Sturgill. I'll be your host for the next few minutes. No, today we're not looking at a tobacco scent, or at least not in this episode. We are looking at a very good spicy scent, though, from the house of Serge Lutens. Now, that's the glorious bottle. And if you can read it there, it's pretty dark. It says 5 o'clock au Gingembre, which means ginger in French. So, juice is not really quite that dark, guys. It's a trick of the backing and just the shade that the internal dimensions create. It's a little bit lighter in color. I don't know if you can kind of catch it from the side here. It's like a weird, slightly light gray purple, slightly just hints of amber or something. At any rate, whatever. I've already attached the spray head. If you don't like this style, you can keep the black cap on and use it as a splash for very old-fashioned individuals that prefer the splash-on, variety, just at your pulse points. I prefer spray personally. That's just me. Let's get into the notes. And this is a very, very yummy, spicy, cozy scent. Projection's not loud, but I find that it's more than you think it is, and people typically will smell this on you once they get up to about between 1 and 2 feet. All things, being equal, not maybe in every circumstance, but in a lot of situations, especially if you've activated your sweat, your sweat glands from movement, or you're working at some kind of job, or it's a little bit hot, this will activate more strongly. You'll get better projection and better sillage. So if you go to Serge Lutens' website, he says something poetic about this being like you're having like ginger confit, and it's tea time at the something like the black Wedgwood porcelain or something, cups or something. So I think the idea, really confit, guys, is a fancy way of saying jam or marmalade or fruit preserves in England. So if you spread that on, English bread, like white bread, or those little toasts or muffins thingies, I'm not thinking of the correct name. The idea is that you would be eating something that has ginger in it. Now, a lot of candied or fruit preserves have ginger in them, regardless of what type they are. But you could also just be eating ginger jam, which I think is probably way too strong. I wouldn't recommend that unless you're battling an illness or something. At any rate, the idea is that you're drinking this Earl Grey type English tea, London Grey, whatever, black tea from Ceylon or wherever, and that is definitely present here. You do get the tea, the essence of tea on the skin. You get the ginger, you get cinnamon. There's some black pepper in here. There's some woodsy notes, whatever that means. I don't know if that could be resins of pine or what's some other good woods out there? I'm trying to think. Oak, maybe. Sandalwood, maybe. It's not that creamy. So at any rate, let's get into the official note breakdown. That's the type of vibe you're going to get. I will also mention this before I get into the official notes. This paints a fairly accurate, impressionistic, abstract painting of a really high-dollar cigar. It gives you a lot of those nuances. A lot of good cigars, guys, if you've never smelled one or smoked one, they have elements of pepper, which is a naturally occurring olfactory smell that good cured tobacco can give off. They can give off naturally fruity vibes. This has that again in spades. They can give off naturally like a cinnamony type accord. This has that in spades. It gives off a plant woody type essence. Almost something lightly approaching birch, tar, or beechwood or birchwood, things like that. This also has that type of element. Again, all those elements are naturally occurring in really good tobacco. So this gives a very weird, accurate, impressionistic feel of high quality cured tobacco, even if tobacco is not a legitimate scent in here, if that makes sense. So it's really cool. It gives this sort of a very accurate feel of tobacco, but there's not the actual tobacco in this, to my knowledge. And then also there's honey in this, and that also is, again, often either naturally occurring in good cured tobacco. I mean, the little hint of it, or in fact, a lot of manufacturers will add a little bit of honey into the curing process, and that gets soaked up into the leaves, and then you get this, well, honey tobacco, obviously. I've just about listed all the official notes, not just talking about it, but what a wonderful fragrance this is. Well, let me go ahead and get in here and talk about the official notes breakdown. So, nose on this was the ever so popular Christopher Sheldrake. Not going to get into the wonderful library that he's done. Well, maybe I will in a minute, very briefly. I've already covered that in past videos. Top notes, tea, bergamot. I don't get much bergamot here, guys, for what it's worth. Middle notes are ginger, cinnamon, and woodsy notes. Base notes are cacao, honey, amber, patchouli, and pepper. Yeah, and I forgot to mention the patchouli. There is just a tiny element of detectable patchouli here, and much more. I think it comes out more in the dry down, the deep dry down into the base. Cacao. Yeah, it's really uber soft. It's not that powdery. So if you're not a fan of powdered or powdery perfumes, this is not powder, at least not on my skin. But again, the cacao is blended so magnificently with the other notes that it doesn't really stand out all that much. It's there if you really, really dig hard enough and think about it long enough, but it's not that obvious to me, if that makes sense. This launched in 2008, and what a marvelous fall, winter, Christmas time type scent this is. Just such a soothing, pleasant. But this also reminds me of the the infamous trading routes. You know, back in the like starting from around 1100 AD or even before that, and on into the 1500s, 1600s, when Europe and even later America was doing so much active trade with like India and Africa and Siam and Far East Asia and China especially, and later the Russians and stuff. So this really, really conjures up international trade, the Silk Route, things like that. So it's sort of a very, I think it pays a lot of homage or homage to these facets, especially since it's calling into the imagery of Great Britain, English, tea time, again, the ginger confits, or ginger snaps, things, all that kind of thing. So quite romantic, really. A sillage projection, decent, but nowhere near beast mode. This is much more of an intimate scent. I won't go so far as to say a skin scent. I think that's being a little bit trite, but it is definitely going to sit much closer to your skin. Sillage, I think, is decent, especially if there's some wind or something. But you're not going to really ever blow anyone out of a cubicle in this. I think you could wear this literally to any event. Wouldn't be the ultimate club scent, I don't think. I just don't think it's built for that, and I can't imagine who'd be wearing 5 o'clock Eau Gingembre in a dance hall or club. At any rate, this is really not the scent for that. You're going to need something a lot more active, or beast mode in general, or something that has, like, I don't know, citrus, spice, something like a Victor and Rolf Spice Bomb or Spice Bomb Extreme. Their new one is fixing to drop. I think it's called Spice Bomb Night, I want to say. They should have just called it La Nuit, La Nuit the Spice Bomb, but whatever. Okay, I'm going to wrap it up. So, very, very quickly, again, I've gone over this before, but just to give you a real quick miniature taste of what Christopher Sheldrake has designed. Quasar from Jesus del Pozo, Chanel Coco Noir Extrait and Coco Noir. He's done, I think, most, if not all, of the Serge Lutens. An incredible library, which is just magnificent. Yeah, Musk, Kublai Khan, Santal de Mysore, Rahat Lukum. So many, yeah. Fi and Aguirre, or Aguil. What else? Un Voix Noir, Un Lys, Vetiver Oriental. He's done some Shiseido. Anyway, that's going to do it, guys. That is going to do it. I've already run a little bit over my preferred time. I'm trying to keep these a little bit shorter. That's going to wrap it up, guys. Thanks so much. If you like, please subscribe and click the bell for future updates. This is just such a recommended scent. If you like intimate, spicy, sort of... it's almost straddling a line between spicy oriental and fougere to a point. Also, it's a little bit gourmandy with some of those little ginger, honey, and cacao based. It kind of veers a little bit gourmand, not full on, but it's kind of a very interesting mashup hybrid. Anyways, that's going to do it. Spray often, spray well. Live life on your terms. Again, please subscribe if you haven't and click the bell for future updates. Love you guys. Peace out. Catch me in the next episode.